everyone, and welcome to the finals of the StarCityGames.com Baltimore Open Weekend, the final Open here in 2018 on the SCG Tour. Brought to you by the wonderful people over at Ultimate Guard and Twitch. Cedric Phillips, Patrick Sullivan here in the booth. Going to watch Ross Merriam against Jeffrey Carr. For you Arclight Phoenix fans, we've got a doozy of a finals. Two different ways to cast this powerful spell, but I guess in most instances, we're not casting.
No. We're free rolling it. Oh, this is another slight tax on Merriam in the matchup.
A little bit of damage that
yeah.
he's doing himself. That is definitely true. Carr's deck is just so wonky coming from different angles as here's the Serum Visions for Ross. Is Ross going to be able to kill his opponent fast enough is the question, as he will scry 2 here with Serum Visions. We are heading back over to Jeffrey Carr. It's a mountain. It's a Faithless Looting. Get a little setup going. Manamorphose and Lava Spike are the draws. There goes Arclight Phoenix. There goes a mountain. We head back over to Ross Merriam. We'll be keeping our eyes on those graveyards, folks. That's for sure.
Carr picked up a Manamorphose and a Lava Spike, so if he finds another 1-mana spell or a Manamorphose next turn, he can have an Arclight Phoenix attacking next turn.
Mm-hmm. One card that's interesting to me I just thought of about for Jeffrey Carr's deck. Wonder if Simian Spirit Guide should be hanging out in there.
Maybe.
He could be even more explosive with a card like that.
I think the problem is that once Arclight Phoenix is in the deck, you just got to be playing more spells. Like, how can you justify a Simian Spirit Guide over Desperate Ritual?
Okay.
It's a lot of the same thing, but you just need spells.
You need the spell for Phoenix.
Yeah.
Okay, sure. That makes some sense to me, actually. Ross going to crack a Polluted Delta. Let's see where he wants to begin. He's got a Monastery Swift Spear, and now he'll play a Serum Visions. Now remember, as we've watched Ross quite a few times this weekend, turn 3 is normally his explosive turn, where Arclight Phoenixes are coming back. He's playing 3 or 4 spells in a turn, which means Swift Spear will get larger as well. He has now put a card on top of his deck, splitting the difference with the Scry on Serum Visions and getting in here for 2 points of damage.
And there's a Gut Shot off the top for Carr, so that's the spell he needs, I think, for the Arclight Phoenix.
Gonna play a Manamorphose. Gonna play a Lava Spike. Gonna play a... No, boy. That's a 9 there.
Yeah, this is the draw that I'm worried about. Is Merriam's just... Does he spin his tires too much to handle draws like this?
Yeah, because Merriam is down to 7 now. Well, it's gonna have to be a good turn here. Ross Serum Visions is where he'll start. He'll draw a card.
Remember, there's still a Faithless Looting left over in Carr's graveyard.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, he has a Gut Shot in hand.
Oh, yeah.
So that's, well, 7 to 6 is, that's a significant number when Carr largely hits in chunks of 3.
Already 4 spells in the graveyard for Bedlam Reveler if we're tracking that.
Mm-hmm.
If you count Gut Shot, we can call it 5.
These games involve a lot of decisions in a very compressed frame of time.
They really do. It feels like Legacy in that regard.
Yeah.
That's kind of the trademark and the hallmark of Legacy is you've got to make your decisions right on the first, second, and third turns of the game. Faithless Looting now. 1, 2 cards here for Merriam. It'll be at least 1 Arclight Phoenix that's placed into the graveyard. Looks like Ross with a small sleeve issue. Gonna fix that. Problem solved.
So that is 2 spells.
2 prowess triggers there on the Monastery Mentor. Excuse me. Monastery Swift Spear.
think the third spell here might be a gut shot, and now Ross has got to make the call if he can afford the 2 life here.
Well, what's interesting about Carr's deck list is that it doesn't have a ton of burn. I guess, I don't know. I kind of take that back. There's 4 bolts, 4 tempers, 4 lava spikes, 2 gut shots, and a flame jab. 2 risk factors, too. So he's going to use Bolt to clear out the Arclight Phoenix and get in here for a bunch of damage. Going to bring Jeffrey Carr down to 11. A card like Risk Factor here, Ross is certainly saying you get to draw 3 cards.
Yeah, I mean, that might be the... So I think in that spot, Carr should play the Risk Factor on his own turn.
Okay.
Because if Ross charms it, it's really bad.
It's horrible news.
And Ross probably lets you draw 3. And then you have Gut Shot plus 2 bolts, where Charm doesn't interact with that if you have a 4th land.
Okay.
Like, you can completely play around Charm.
Okay.
Is my point.
Bolt you. 3, 6, 7, 8. Manamorphose. That's 9. Bolt you.
Yep.
That'll do it. Ross Merriam is going to win and gain number 1 here over Jeffrey Carr. A little bit of manipulation. The thing about Ross's deck is it's that third turn every time.
So explosive.
The third turn is explosive every single time. And if you haven't played against the deck before and you're just watching here like we are, that's the biggest thing I've noticed is that the first turn is a lot of Serum Visions, Thought Scour, stuff like that. Second turn might be Thing in the Ice. And the third turn, he is incentivized to play 3 spells, obviously because of Arclight Phoenix, but that's when he's really doing something nasty.
Yeah. No, and he was able... A lot of that also came down to the Swift Spear, too.
Yeah.
Having that play early on that Carr never responded to kind of put him on the front foot there and added up to a ton of damage.
You got to remember, only a 2 of in his deck. We've questioned that a little bit here this weekend. It certainly looked good in that particular game.
The matchups that have been about speed, it's been really important. And It was also pretty good against Brad because Ross had a premium on having enough threats in the deck and having some haste in the deck as well to try to punish Brad for tapping out on his own turn. So 2's a weird number. I'm still a little skeptical of them, but they've been good. They were great there, that's for sure.
We'll go with Jeffrey Carr's sideboard first in his 4 Tormod's Crypts, 3 Eidolon of the Great Revel, 2 Shattering Sprees, 2 Abrades, 2 Dismember, and those 2 Hazoret the Fervent. Seems like a great Eidolon matchup.
Yeah, I love Eidolon here. I think Carr has to be the aggressor, and Merriam does a lot of fumbling around with cantrips. I'm not really interested in Tormod's Crypt to try to fight the Phoenixes, and everything else here is for different matchups.
Let's go to Ross Merriam. He's got 3 Abrades, 2 Ceremonious Rejection, 2 Alpine Moon, 2 Anger of the Gods, 2 Dispel, 2 Surgical Extraction, a Spell Pierce, and that game-winning Ral Izzet Viceroy that he used to move on past Brad Nelson.
I'm really only interested in the Pierce and maybe the 2 Dispels. Everything else here is for different matchups, so light sideboarding.
Light sideboarding it is, folks. Light sideboarding it is. We'll get ready here for game number 2 between Merriam and Carr, in which Carr will be on the play just a bit. But we want to go over our Season 2 schedule here. Season 1 schedule of the 2019 SCG Tour. One final time this weekend because this is our final open of 2018, but we got plenty for you in 2019. Kicking off in Cowtown, beautiful Columbus, Ohio for some Team Modern action.
Then January rounds out with Modern in Worcester and then teams in Indianapolis after release weekend. February has teams in Baltimore, Standard in Dallas, and then we head to March where we have Legacy in Syracuse. The regional championships is on March 9th. You can head over to go.starcgames.com/regionals for more information. When we get a little bit closer to that event, then Modern in Philadelphia. After that, teams in Cincinnati. April, 1 event, Modern in Cleveland. And then May has teams in Richmond, team in Syracuse, and Modern Louisville. And that will bring us to the Season 1 Invitational in Roanoke, Virginia at the Berglund Center, June 7th through the 9th with Modern and Standard as the invitational formats.
We got Play Match, you know that. Of course, for our Standard Open Classic Infinite Challenge players, it's Botanical Growth by Victor Adame Minguez, who will be at SCGCon next week. We take a look at our Modern playmat here for you. It's Star Crowned Angel, by Greg Staples. And for our Legacy Open Classic Infinite Challenge players, Loftstone Citadel, illustrated by Adam Paquette. These playmats are not Magic cards. As I've mentioned multiple times this weekend, these were made for this use and this use only. For the SCG Tour. Free exclusive playmats with entry into any open, classic, infinite challenge, or sealed spectacular playmat. Head over to go.starcitygames.com/schedule for more information. As Ross Merriam taking a look at that deck list one more time from Jeffrey Carr, he'll be on the play. For Ross, it's top 8 number 24, folks. Could be win number 5. When he won in number 4 in Syracuse with Dredge a little while ago, he put those 4 fingers up. Could be 5-time, 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 5-time SCG Tour champion. Looking for that third invitational top 8. That could happen next week at the Berglund Center in Roanoke, Virginia at SCGCon Winter. Jeopardy eggs and jazz. Sure, man. And Arclight Phoenixes.
Spartan.
Yeah?
Just a minimalist lifestyle.
It's working for him, that's for sure. We'll see him on Versus Live later this week, too, as well. Maybe he'll be playing this deck for you, as he's been working hard on this Is It Phoenix deck. Did a lot of work with it on Magic Online. Found some lists, and he said, I just don't understand why people are playing Bedlam Reveler, and then when people sideboard in Graveyard Hate against you, it's good against Reveler and Phoenix. I don't want that to happen, so I'm going to go to Crackling Drake. You remove my Graveyard, it does nothing. And this approach that he has taken has worked very well. This could be the future of this archetype.
I think the match with Brad was really instructive of just how many angle of attacks he was able to come from, where Brad needed paths, and he needed sweepers, and he needed bolts, and any time that he missed a beat there, Merriam was able to leverage huge advantage.
One thing that is a little bit interesting here, I thought about this card a little bit, and this is kind of a natural thought, because I'm seeing how Ross's games play out, and how he's on turn 3, he's always playing a ton of spells, right? So prowess creatures might have some impact here, but also, you think of a red card that makes some token, Junk Pyromancer.
Yeah.
Wouldn't surprise me if that's a good maybe switcheroo in the sideboard.
And it's not like people are bringing in Anger of the Gods against you. Yeah.
Might be a little switcheroo that he could pull on some players. Not sure if you should play it in the main deck over something like Thing on the Ice. They're pretty different cards.
Well, Ross's sideboard suggests to me he's happy with the threats in the deck, and he just wants to have the right counter spells or right reaction for the matchups where that's appropriate.
One card I'm happy not to see in this deck, though, Delver of Secrets.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just the kind of card, right? I play a ton of spells. Seems like it should just be in here, right? You transform your Delver so easy, all this other stuff. But this isn't really a good home for Delver, I don't think.
Just dies, and when it doesn't die, it's not that good. It seems like an easy cut.
We've said it once. We'll say it again. SCGCon next weekend. Don't forget about it. We want to see you there. If you can head out to Roanoke, Virginia, December 7th through the 9th. We got so much going on. Cube Championship, awesome artists, Winter Championship, sealed events, Commander Celebration, the Gold Rush. So much awesome stuff. That trivia out in Daleville, Virginia at the brewery. Last chance qualifier if you're not qualified yet. I know some players qualified here this weekend. Our standard classic winner stopped by the booth while we were on break and said, should I head down there? Heck yeah, you should.
Yes, you should.
That's a high EV invitational you just qualified for, my friend.
And even if the invitational doesn't go well, there's no shortage of events, fun things to do. It would be a mistake not to go.
We're trying to blow it out to end the year here in 2018, so we hope you see you there. I know we'll see Ross and Jeffrey there. Ross doesn't live too far from the convention center, so it might just be a nice little walk for our Is It Phoenix player. He's going to think long and hard before keeping this hand. And he's going to scry now. He'll keep it, and we're underway. Faithless looting here for Jeffrey Carr to start. Now, I mentioned the article during the course of the broadcast that Dylan Hand wrote for Star City Games last Monday, identifying the best one-drops in the format and how you had better be playing one. Those one-drops is Ross looks like he might have a land to play. We might be heading to a third game pretty quickly. Here's a Manamorphose And to another Manamorphose. Ooh, boy, couple okay, well, down to 11. Hand identified that Faithless Looting, Ancient Stirrings, and Aether Vial are the best ones to play. You got to be playing one of those, and I think I agree. It looks like Faithless Looting might be the best of the bunch.
I'm not a huge fan from Carr of playing the second Manamorphose because he had the 2 spikes rolled up. Because if Ross goes untap, bolt your Arclight Phoenix, you want to leave as many free spells back to rebuy. Probably not going to matter this game is the sense I'm getting.
I'm inclined to agree. That's a free one for Jeffrey Carr. Going to take care of Ross Merriam. All tied up. All tied up. Just like that. Carr's going to get one on the house. Mono Red Phoenix, Is It Phoenix, all tied up. Didn't get a great look to see if Carr did bring in the Eidolon or not.
He did bring in the Dismembers, a little surprising, showing a lot of respect for Thing in the Ice and perhaps Crackling Drake as well.
Well, they might go back to the drawing board here a little bit. Not too sure. We're not going to wait too long for them, but while they do consider their options for the third and final game here this weekend, our friends over at Ultimate Guard got some new products coming out February 1st, the Ammonite Anti-Theft Backpack and Katana Sleeves. Here come both before Game 3. Both those fantastic products will be available at your local retailer and StarCityGames.com February 1st. Go to StarCityGames.com/UltimateGuard to learn more information about their products. As we get ready for Game 3 between Ross Merriam and Jeffrey Carr, Is It Phoenix and Mono Red Phoenix. Should be a doozy.
Some fast ones so far.
Not wasting any time. That dinner reservation is looking good at the Cheesecake Factory.
The Cheesecake Factory. I will not go, and I certainly will not make a reservation. The degradation and humiliation of ordering from Jimmy John's, that's one thing.
Yes, it is.
Calling the Cheesecake Factory and asking politely for them to set aside a table for myself and my friends is a step too far.
That's another
I will not do it.
That's just another one entirely then.
I will not do it.
Okay, well. That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
You think you're above the brown bread.
And Baltimore has
people like you before.
Baltimore has you people.
I've seen people like
Baltimore has no end
you
of really good hole-in-the-wall options. Dimly lit.
Definitely dimly lit.
Service that I would describe as adversarial. We'll do that instead.
Yeah.
We're going to do that.
They don't want you there. You don't want to be there.
No.
But you got to eat something.
And they've got to make rent. So we meet somewhere in the middle.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Definitely adversarial.
Yeah.
Yeah. Can't argue that even a little bit.
But that's a style I like. Even the term server and service makes me uncomfortable. I don't like thinking about human relationships that way.
That's understandable.
I prefer person. Enemy. Obstacle.
Yeah.
That's a framework I'm much more comfortable with.
Gotcha. Understood. Gotcha. Just getting into your head here.
Yeah.
at the late stages of the Baltimore Open.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like it's Jeffrey Carr's turn to take a mulligan. Okay. Okay. Let's cue up the old Commander celebration for our viewers at home at SCGCon, who might not be aware of that taking place with our awesome playmat for Jonathan Suarez, Jeremy Nolan, Justin Parnell, and Stephen Green. Look at those faces stretched. Look at those chubby cheeks on Stephen Green. We had some fun with Stephen Green earlier this weekend. You can meet him and the rest of the Commander Versus gang and have exclusive access to the Command Zone with our Commander Celebration package. We've got the exclusive Commander Versus playmat, Command Zone Centerpiece, Ultimate Guard Commander Boulder Deck Case 100+, 4 Commander event vouchers, and all the toys from Grand Prix Atlanta 2015 that you and I were at.
Yes.
Doesn't seem like it was that long ago.
What was that format?
Mm-hmm.
That was. Oh, hold on. That was.
I remember.
Booster draft.
That's correct. Sealed booster draft. I remember.
Yeah. Give me a moment here.
You got it. You got it. You got this.
2015.
Yep.
Sealed.
Mm-hmm.
Tom Martell won.
Is that true? No.
Are you sure?
No. Really?
I think that I covered a Grand Prix that Martell won. I'm not 100% sure.
All right. Then maybe he did. I remember the format. I'll tell you that much. He may have won.
It was not. Was it Theros?
Nope.
Then I don't have it.
Battle for Zendikar.
That's right. Martell had some funky Eldrazi deck or some sort. Or
Yeah, he had a weird deck. I think he did win, actually. I think you're right. I have to go look that up.
You're right. Eldrazi.
I think the family man did win. Confirmed. Martell. Well done.
Like a historian.
Well, not even close.
Memory like a steel trap.
That's not true at all. What'd you have for breakfast yesterday?
I don't think. Did I have breakfast?
Mr. Steel Trap.
I had a cup of coffee.
Yeah. You had something else, too.
Are you talking about the bag of cookies that I ate? It's not really a breakfast.
I'm not here to put titles and labels on things.
Jimmy John sub?
Yeah. We're going to go over to Jeffrey Carr now, who's kicked things off with a Swift Spear.
I ate all the pizza.
I recall.
So it wasn't that.
It was not an even distribution Friday evening.
I bought it. What do you mean it wasn't even distribution? What planet would you think you had any sort of right to... Yeah, I like this finals. Just get it over with. This play seems kind of bad to me, but whatever.
Is that a 10? Is that a 10? Is he a 10 now? 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, plus the Manamorpho. Because it's 7?
I guess if he's hitting to 7, that's fine. I thought it was a little bit more modest, but Ross with his stupid steam vents.
Yeah.
Sorry, took a ton.
Manamorphose time. That's spell 1. Oh yeah, let's get this party started. I like that neither of these decks are trying to play fair. That's what I'm into.
Yeah, fair is a loaded term.
Yeah. This is just some messed up magic here. Faithless Looting is spell 2. Can you imagine if Probe was legal?
Yeah. I mean, if there's anything that like I'm sort of exhausted with, it's just all the cheap and free cantrips, right? It's like Faithless Looting, Metamorphose, Ancient Stirrings.
Hey, can we unban Preordain?
Yeah, we need more of this, right?
Yep.
Just more same draws every game.
Yep. Bolt that, Phoenix here. Carr down to 17. Merriam's got a long way to go.
Wow, that's a really different third turn than Ross has had every other turn of the tournament. I think we need more of that.
Couple of mountains.
We're just short. We're just so short on the draws being the same for these blue decks.
Couple of mountains in Jeffrey Carr's hand along with an Arclight Phoenix. We're going to head back over to Ross. He'll draw. In for 3 more. Carr's going to fall down to 14. What's our follow-up, Ross? It's a Thing in the Ice.
Woof.
Not my favorite. Carr's going to draw. Picked up a copy of Bedlam Reveler. Here comes the Phoenix. Ross going to fall down to 4.
Gonna be tight.
Yes, it will.
Close race here.
Carr's hand right now is a Mountain and a Bedlam Reveler.
Remember, this is relevant now. It's a horror.
That matters. That matters.
Because
Thing in the Ice will not make it go away.
Ross is on a clip here to maybe get the Thing in the Ice transformed, not this turn necessarily, but next.
Well, it could be this turn now.
Yeah, I mean, he's drawing to, I think, a land or a Manamorphose.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what I saw in his hand, a lot of blue spells.
He's going to need that land to not deal him damage. Found a red. Okay. See where Merriam wants to start things off. Ross looking for SCG Tour win number 5. Carr looking for his first. It's a tight third and final one here. That's a Thought Scour. Down to 2 counters goes Thing in the Ice. Manamorphose and Crackling Drake will go to the graveyard. Merriam will draw a card. Looked like a Scalding Tarn. Not in love with that.
Would prefer not to crack that if possible.
Yep. That's 2 spells this turn. Spots like this are tough. No room for error.
So I think he has Mountain plus Scalding Tarn in hand, and if he's looking at either potentially dead ending this turn or having to break the Tarn to get another blue.
And if he has to break the Tarn to get a blue, that means that Bolt, Temper, and Spike
And he has
lethal.
And he has to hang back with the Phoenix.
Yep.
Because the Phoenix will get bounced and can be redeployed. So here it is. I mean,
ooh, boy. He's going to 3. He needs another blue.
and if he's doing this, from Carr's perspective, he's tapping out. That's the only reason to do this right now. He's going to try to chain together 2 spells, transform Thing in the Ice, close this out over 2 turns.
Now he's got to know that if he bounces, if he transforms Thing in the Ice,
He's going to bounce his own Arclight Phoenix.
and he's going to bounce Jeffrey's, and then Jeffrey can just replay his and attack.
Yes.
Now I imagine that Ross knows this.
Yeah, he can't just snap it off and pass the turn back. That won't do it.
Yeah. Okay.
Unless he's
Okay. Yep. He's fine.
Yeah, okay, yeah. If he's got Faithless Looting, then he can just
because this bounces it back to his hand.
Right, he
now
can
he
redeploy
draws
it.
2 cards. He's played plenty of spells, so his planning is in order.
he still can't attack with the Arclight Phoenix, but he has it back to
Correct.
block. This one is close.
Phoenix and Thing in the Ice are going to go to the graveyard, it looks like. Trigger. Get back the Phoenix, come across for 7. Ross is going to cross his fingers and hope for no Bolt, no Spike, no Temper. Mountain was the draw. There are 3 spells in the graveyard for Jeffrey Carr. That means that Reveler costs 5. And he can play Reveler.
And it's not easy for Ross to kill it, and you get another crack at these spells next turn.
Yep. He'll discard a couple of cards. 1 is a Manamorphose. 2 is a Manamorphose. 3 I didn't get a great look
I
at.
think I saw Swift Spear, but I'm not sure.
Let's go back to Merriam. He'll draw. Lightning Axe would close the game out. It is not easy for him to get Reveler off the battlefield. Perhaps he can go to the skies with more copies of Arclight Phoenix. He'll start with the Serum Visions and Scry 2. 1 on top, 1 on bottom. He's interested in something he found there. Next up, Opt. You have to imagine he's going to keep it. Attacking. That's dead.
If he left on top, it's hard to imagine. It's either lethal.
Bolt you.
Yeah.
Gut shot you. That's going to do it. Ross Merriam is going to win this tournament here in Baltimore. He is the final open winner here in